Welcome back. Well, the building you can see on your screens now is Al-Falah University, located in Faridabad. This building has housed and educated one of North India's most notorious terror groups that were involved in the Red Fort terror blast in Delhi. These were a group of doctors who have been birthed by the university who were actively involved in the Red Fort blast. Hello and welcome to another episode of Deep Dive brought to you by NewsX. You're watching me, Vineet Malhotra. Today we are going to take a deeper look at this university and its students and their ties to the recent terror blast at the Red Fort. Well, there are 15 doctors who were in touch with Mamul Shakil from Al-Falah University itself, who have been suspected to be involved somehow in this case, and some of their licenses have also reportedly been seized. Call detailed records showed multiple conversations between Dr. Mamul and several other doctors. When the agencies attempted to contact them, their phones have been found to be switched off and are untraceable. A team was sent to Al-Falah University for questioning and found that most of these doctors were missing. Officials are now investigating to see whether the missing individuals have had any role in the planning or logistics of this blast. There have been many doctors who have been arrested, starting off with Dr. Mamul Shakil. He is 35 years old and is from Koil village in Pulwama, Jammu and Kashmir. He previously worked at Al-Falah Medical University in Faridabad. Mamul Shakil was arrested on the 30th of October, which was before the blast, in connection with the terror module. His rented premises were raided by the police, and investigators say they seized huge quantities of explosive material, about 2,900 kg of ammonium nitrate, timers, remote controls, detonators from him. He allegedly played a key logistical role in the module. He handled storage and transport of explosives. And according to investigators, he conducted reconnaissance of the Red Fort area earlier for a planned attack. Dr. Adil Ahmed, is a 31-year-old postgraduate specialist in internal medicine from Kazigund in Anantnag, Jammu and Kashmir, and has emerged as the central figure in the terror module linked to the November 10th Red Fort blast. He was a former senior resident at Government Medical College, Anantnag, completed his MBBS and MD before joining the college's internal medicine department, where colleagues described him as diligent but withdrawn. In March 2025, he moved to Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh, first joining the V Brothers Hospital and later Famous Medicare, where police records show he earned about 5 lakh rupees a month and treated up to 50 patients daily. He lived in a rented 2-bedroom house in Bapu Vihar colony, keeping to himself except for the occasional late-night visitor, neighbors told the police, and according to investigators, this has been verified. He was arrested on the 6th of November from Famous Medicare Hospital during duty hours by a joint team of Jammu and Kashmir Police and UP Special Operations Group. During interrogation, he allegedly revealed a network spanning Delhi NCR, Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir, identifying other operatives including Dr. Shahin Shahid, a brother, Dr. Pravez Ansari and Dr. Mamul Shakil. A day after his arrest, police recovered an AK-47 rifle and ammunition from his GMC locker, prompting charges under the Arms Act. His disclosures led to police to raid in Faridabad on the 9th of November, where security forces found a godown rented under his instructions by Mamul. These investigators found 350 kg of ammonium nitrate, 2 AK-47s, which is an assault rifle, 200 rounds with it, 20 electronic timers, detonators, and IED components, material capable of multiple large-scale attacks. Now, going on to Dr. Shahin Shahid, 46 years of age, is a former medical lecturer from Lucknow who rose through academics as a meritorious student before becoming a senior faculty member in pharmacology. Originally from Kandhari Bazaar in Lucknow's Kesar Bagh, she completed her MBBS and MD from Allahabad, now Prayagraj, between 1996 and 2005, that is. She held positions at both Kanpur and Kannauj medical colleges over the years, known to be academically strong but personally reserved. She was also briefly married to ophthalmologist Dr. Zafar Hayat, but the couple divorced in 2015, after which she lived alone with limited contact with her family. After her transfer out of Kanpur, Dr. Shahin later joined Al-Falah University in Faridabad, Haryana. A move investigators now believe played a key role in her alleged radicalization. Sources say she came in contact with operatives linked to Jamaat-ul-Mominat, the newly created women's wing of Jaish-e-Mohammed, launched just last month. And according to preliminary probes, she became part of the recruitment network allegedly tasked with identifying educated women and motivating them to join the organization's activities. Officials say she maintained communication with a Pakistani-based handler, signaling her deeper involvement with the network. During her years in Prayagraj and later postings, she was known to keep to herself, a trait investigators now believe made her vulnerable to influence. Dr. Shahin Shahid's arrest came after a massive crackdown on an interstate JEM module operating across Jammu and Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. She was among 8 people taken into custody in connection with the 10th November Delhi car blast case. The breakthrough followed the recovery of 2,900 kilograms of explosives from Faridabad, a seizure that led security agencies to uncover a wider terror network linked to Jaish-e-Mohammed. Her suspected role in recruitment, her contacts with a foreign handler, and her alleged ties to Jamaat-ul-Mominat placed her firmly under the scanner. Investigators now say her activities and movements over the past few years indicate a deeper association with the group, prompting her arrest as part of the nationwide operations. The Uttar Pradesh Anti-Terrorism Squad, working with Jammu and Kashmir Police and Lucknow Police also, later arrested 41-year-old Lucknow-based doctor Pervez Ansari for his alleged role in the November 10th Red Fort car blast. Ansari is the younger brother of Dr. Shahin Shahid, previously arrested in Faridabad for her involvement in the same terror network. And according to ATS officials, Ansari was suspected of managing key logistical and communication operations for the module behind the explosion. Ansari completed his MBBS in Lucknow in 2011 and MD in Agra in 2015, later joining a private university in Lucknow as a senior resident in July 2021. He abruptly resigned on the 6th of November, just a day before the arrest of Dr. Adil. Sajjad Malik, who was a Pulwama doctor and taken into custody on Tuesday for questioning, which brings the number of Kashmir-born doctors linked to the Delhi blast case to 4. It remained unclear whether Malik's detention was aimed at gathering information about his friend Umar or if he was also being held as a suspect in the broader terrorism conspiracy. Another doctor named Mushtaqim was reportedly detained by the NIA. He did his MBBS from China and was interning at Al-Falah Medical University. He has a clear connection through this to the university. A doctor named Rehan Hayat was also reportedly detained in this case and worked at a private hospital. He had previously studied at Al-Falah University, and 2 other doctors have also reportedly been detained. One namely being Dr. Arif Mir, who was from Kanpur and cardiologist. He was originally from Jammu and Kashmir. The other one who has reportedly been detained is Dr. Farooq from GS Medical College, Hapur. Even though the Al-Falah University has denied allegations against itself and stated that they remain committed to education, we are witnessing greater scrutiny of the university. The people who studied and taught here. This place is at the center of the investigation in the Delhi blast, and skeletons continue to tumble out of its closets. Let's talk about this with Sumit Peer, senior political commentator, who's joining me at this point in time. Sumit, if you're going to ask me, what my reaction is after telling our viewers after this monologue as to how one is supposed to feel, where doctors are turning into terrorists, universities are turning into centers of creating modules to attack innocent civilians, it is going to send a shiver, a shudder down everyone's spine. These are the people who have taken an oath to protect life. These are the people that, other people trust with their lives in terms of the medicines they give, the treatments they in fact ask us to follow. What do you make of this startling discovery? And then the kind of operations that have been allowed to happen right under the very nose of the Al-Falah University. There are 4 to 5 doctors who have been found in this cesspool. Do you think that the university has any credible prerogative to deny that they did not know what was going on?
Vinny, thank you for having me on your show. Your monologue was terrific. Question is brilliant. I think, it's like looking at the mirror and lying to yourself. That's what I look at it now. After the cat is out of the bag, this center, this university, what I look at is epicenter of Islamic terror and jihad. This is where the white collar jihad is being groomed and matured. This is what is the center of what we call as doctor jihad. This is the center of chemical jihad. That is what this university is. This all padhai likhai is all a camouflage. This has nothing to do with the reality.
Isn't that worrying, Sumit? Because earlier we were all discussing the notion that the people who are not educated in madrasas were the ones who were being radicalized. That completely throws that theory out of the window. Of course, I stand corrected considering the fact that 9/11 was done by educated people. Osama bin Laden was an engineer.
You nailed it, Farid. I mean, that's exactly I said. I'll use one sentence in Hindi to give it a flavor. भाई जब तक अनपढ़ थे पत्थरबाज थे पढ़ लिख गए बमबाज बन गए from a pattharbaz to bambaz you need that padai na. How could you get 3,000 kilograms of ammonium nitrate? How could you run this what we call as a starfish network where every module is independent of others and they're able to build such a network? This net, beneath what I look at it, Kashmir Jihad was initially a part of Kashmir and used to happen there. Now through these Chashma Charag of Naya Kashmir, what we call them, what we are told the Naya Kashmir, they have come out. They have spread their tentacles across the whole of India. Now they want to spill as much of blood across India as possible. And obviously, Hindu blood is on the target. But naturally, some Muslims will also die because bombs don't have religion. So that is what the idea is. The Kashmir Jihad has moved out of Kashmir, and this Al-Falah, and there may be other Al-Falah somewhere around there, has become the epicenter and breeding ground of that, which allows this jihad to be percolated through these white-collar doctors across the length and breadth of the country. Still, we don't know where 29 cars are, 28 cars are out of 32 they bought. We don't still know what were they going to do with it, this much of explosive, because for Delhi blast, if they had to do 6, they would need around 200 kilos. What was to be done with minus 2,800 kilos? Where were they to be used? What was the bigger plan? Who are the more people involved in the racket? We already know a Dubai connection, we know a Turkey connection, we know Afghanistan connection, and more things are involved in. Today, as we talk, 22 doctors are missing from Al-Falah. 3 doctors have been picked up from that Mewat and Nu, which is another region which is shaping up like that. And there are so many ghettos which are shaping up like that. We have been talking about it, you and me, numerous times, and we have been telling that these are epicenters or tinder boxes of jihad which are brewing, and the Pakistan, the ISI and all, they are going to find new ways and means of doing jihad. And remember, Padha Likha jihadi is 1,000 times more dangerous than Unpad jihadi. What you rightly said, all the people who did 9/11, they came from plush Arab families, they were all literates. Osama bin Laden was an engineer, sir.
Was a billionaire.
Doctor. His father was a doctor, his grandfather was a professor.
And he was a billionaire, Sumit.
And a billionaire. And there was a professor from J&K called Afzal Hamshar.
So Sumit, when the FBI or the CIA or even the NIA is looking for offenders, or if they're looking for serial killers, there is a concept which was developed in the 70s by the FBI and the CIA, which was called profiling, and that was something which was adopted all across. It's followed in every country right now. What does this discovery do to that profiling mandate that these agencies have? Do they have to go back to the drawing board now?
They have to go back to the drawing board because jihad has become more sophisticated. The world is being taken over by Padha Likha jihadi. And you have one jihadi called Julani who has become the president of Syria, and he's shaking hands with President Trump, and he was playing basketball with the Senate.
He's beheaded people himself.
Bhai, ab aur kya bole? I mean, if that is the reality of the world, we have to go back to the drawing board. And honestly, I don't know, is this Naya Kashmir really working? Are these the Naya products of New Kashmir? You see, the problem I have is one.
So what does this also tell you about the mindset of the Kashmiri Muslim in Kashmir? What does that tell you?
That is a very dangerous mindset. They all come from South Kashmir. They are all from that radicalized world. Look, even after education, what is my apathy? You have put crores of taxpayers' money, your money, my money, and everybody watching this broadcast, their money to make a doctor. 3 to 5 crores is what government spends in making one doctor. With the oath that you are going to save lives, now we have these doctors who have been groomed and trained on our money, and they have become chemical jihadis. Now, if you look at the Red Fort explosion, now we are talking, always talking about this Umar was an expert bomb maker. He has mixed some TAPA, a chemical which he has mixed with ammonium nitrate, which mixes volatile and highly, explosive. Now the Naugam incident we had, again some chemicals were mixed into explosives. When they came in contact with the air, they exploded. Unfortunately, we lost 12, 13 lives there. Now these jihadis after education have become more dangerous. Now they have a resolve to take Kashmir Jihad to everywhere in the India and to spill as much of blood outside Kashmir.
Fair enough.
So the question is that, are we going on the right path? Is this what we wanted?
Fair enough.
Is this what we intended to do?
Right, right. Sumit, we have run out of time, but appreciate your thoughts on this. This is, of course, a grave concern that you have addressed, and of course, your perspective is always valuable. We take a short break. We'll be back.